Welcome to Husky Talk. Today we're excited to be joined by Matthew Failor, a veteran Iditarod musher, Kuskokwim 300 champion, and multi-time winner humanitarian award winner. Matthew and his wife Liz run Alaskan Husky Adventures in Willow, Alaska, where they share their passion for dog mushing with visitors. His race team, 17th Dog, is a tribute to the family, friends, and fans who make it all possible. Please welcome back to the show, Matthew Failor.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Matthew, welcome back to Husky Talk. You've been on the show a few times now, and it's always such a pleasure to have you. For any new listeners, can you start by sharing a little about yourself and your journey into dog mushing?
Sure. Yeah. So I wasn't born into a dog mushing family. My family is from Ohio, and we grew up, going camping and fishing and hiking, and of course playing a lot of sports. And we had a Labrador named Maggie as our pet dog. And that was kind of my first introduction into dogs and, training them, teaching them how to sit and fetch and things like that. So I moved up here to Alaska when I was in college. I needed a good summer job to pay for my college education. And I got a job working as a dog handler at a dog camp in Juneau. And this dog, her name is Fiona. She was born the day I got to Alaska. So she was this cute little puppy. And I quickly adopted her. I asked the owners if I could have her. And they said that, yes, they weren't planning on having a litter of puppies. It just kind of happened. So they were looking for homes for them. So I swooped her up and took her back to Ohio with me. And Fiona and I would come back to Alaska every summer, go back to college. And then once we graduated, we just moved up here and started working for Matt Hayashida and Martin Boozer, to name a few mushers.
Since the last time we spoke, you've continued to accomplish incredible things in the mushing world. What have been some of the highlights for you over the past year or two?
Well, for some of you, you know that my wife and I, we welcomed our son Theodore into the world. So he's 19 months old, and that's a big highlight for us, having a son, having a child. And so kind of, building our family, growing our family. Of course, the dogs continue to be a highlight for us. We're slowly kind of making our business better and more efficient. That's really kind of what a lot of our time focuses on. Of course, racing Iditarod and the Cusco and all these other races, but we have to have a job. We have to have some way to afford all this. So Alaskan Husky Adventures, we're slowly trying to make it into a really good place for people to come and learn about dog mushing. So yeah, we expanded our parking lot. I know it doesn't sound like much, but people need a place to park. So we called the local company here that helped smooth out an area and bring in gravel. And then we built a dog barn so we can house a lot of the dog's equipment, like sleds and tools and the dog truck. So we've been, those are big highlights. And of course, racing in the Iditarod is the exclamation at the end of the sentence.
We've talked before about your race team, 17th Dog, and its unique meaning. For those who might not know, can you remind us what the name represents and why it's so special?
Sure. Yeah. So this logo is a credit to my brother, Ryan. It was a photograph from a long time ago before I started racing sled dogs. It was a photograph of our team coming right at the camera. And my brother, Ryan, thought it would be a really good idea to just, make it into a simple, like one-tone color and put the 17th Dog writing in there. 17th Dog refers to Iditarod allows us to take 16 dogs on that race. And I completely understand that there are many people that help get us to the start line. It's not just myself and the dogs. It is my handlers, my wife, our son, my mom and dad, our boosters and sponsors, and fans. And all of these people are considered to be the next member of the team, which would be the 17th dog on the team. So they are the 17th dog. A lot of our tourists that come here, they kind of assume that I am the 17th dog. And when I kind of tell them, I say, well, actually, you guys are. You're helping allow the team to succeed. So you guys, you two, by doing this interview, by giving us a little bit of exposure, we would consider you the 17th dog. So it's a way for you to feel a part of our team, which is very important to us.
You and your wife, Liz, are doing great work with Alaskan Husky Adventures. How has the business grown since you last joined us, and what do you enjoy most about introducing people to the world of mushing?
That's a good question. I guess I covered a little bit about the parking lot and the barn. You know, we're trying really hard to just become very efficient. We want, when people come here, we want them to have just a good experience. So we might have to add another bathroom. That would be a good one. Like today, we had to put down a lot of traction sand. There's a lot of ice everywhere. So we're always trying to just make it a good, enjoyable experience. Putting in new trails for the dogs. We're contemplating on expanding our little visitor center as we grow. We might want to add a little more room so the tourists are comfortable. And then, what was the second part? What's a highlight for the tourists that come here? What was the second part of your question? I forgot.
What do you enjoy?
What do you enjoy most?
Oh, so I enjoy seeing on the faces of the people that come here, their eyes just kind of light up. And when they first show up, the dog yard is very calm, and they don't realize just how excited these sled dogs get to go run. And so I think when they first show up, some people might be a little curious. They might say, are you sure the dogs like doing this? And then all of a sudden we bring out the harnesses and we attach the dogs to the sled and they start barking, and it's hard to hold them back. And so then the tourists start realizing they like grab onto the sled because it's like, oh, wow, the sled is moving a little bit. So it's exciting to see their faces, and it's exciting to see them get excited. And they come back with smiles on their faces and they say, that was so cool. I've never experienced anything like that. So, I mean, in a magical way, we're making dreams come true, which is pretty neat. I don't want to sound like a cliche Hallmark card, but that's what we do here.
Matthew, congratulations on becoming a new dad. Can you share what this new chapter has been like for you and your family?
Sure. Yeah. Well, thank you. We are thrilled. It has been, I would say, a good challenge. We've gotten a lot of advice from our parents and our mentors and our friends and other folks that have kids. And as much as all that advice is helpful, you just kind of have to do it. When you're ready and you find the love of your life and you want to welcome your family into the world, you just kind of have to jump on into the deep end and learn how to swim. I'm thankful that I have a lot of good friends that I can call and say, hey, what does this mean? What do we do now? Why is he crying? What does he need? But you just kind of do it together. It's a team sport. Liz and I are on the same team, and we have different styles and different ideas, and we have to work together to figure out, the best thing for Theo. But it's a lot of fun, and he usually just does whatever we're doing. So if I'm going to go mushing, sometimes I strap him on my back and I have a carrier. I did that a lot in the summer, and he hasn't gone in the sled yet because I think he's a little too small for that. But next year I'm going to fill the sled with pillows, and he'll probably be in there with me. And he's in on some of the safety speeches that we give the tourists. He was just on my lap not that long ago. Sorry about that. Can you see me? Where are you guys at? Oh, there you are. Sorry, I had a phone call come in. The best advice I ever got was don't stop living. Just bring him along. If you're going to go for a hike, bring him along. And so we might shorten everything, but Theo's just coming along for the adventure. Instead of doing a 20-mile hike, we might do a 1-mile hike. And so he's just going to be part of the family.
How has fatherhood changed your approach to training and preparing for the Iditarod?
It's probably made me better. It's put a lot of perspective into my life. I guess perspective is everything. I mean, really, Iditarod is a difficult challenge, but it's not the most important challenge. And I realized that no matter what happens, I'm coming home to something that's even more important than my dogs and I. I have to be a good role model. I have to be a good father. It's made me hurry up and get things done. I don't dilly dally in the yard. I don't hang around and ponder a lot of things. I mean, I still do think a lot and try to analyze stuff. But when the chores are over and I've done working with all the dogs, I say goodbye to them and I come in here and put my dad hat on. So it's made me a better person. It's shifted my priorities into focus. And honestly, like, it'll make me a better racer because it's toughened me up in a lot of different ways. And he wrestles with me every night while I'm doing push-ups. He's always pushing me back down and I'm pushing myself up, and he jumps on my back. So there's all kinds of fun things that he's helping me with.
And now, how old is your son, Theo?
He is, we would say, a year and a half old, but he's about 19 months. So yeah, he's running around here. We chase around this dinner table almost every night, and he's a high flying acrobatic dude.
Let's shift gears and talk about another big part of your life, your kennel. Can you give us a behind-the-scenes look at what it's like to run and train a team of dogs year-round?
Sure. Yeah, I think you have to be prepared for the unexpected. Like we try to have a litter of puppies every other year, and that way, as the older ones want to retire, we have a younger group coming up. But like last year, one of our females didn't have puppies. We actually wanted her to, and we picked out the stud or the male, and it just didn't work. It didn't happen. We thought she was pregnant, and so that threw us a curveball. And so now we don't have any young dogs coming up. So no matter what happens, you have to try to have a good, positive attitude. You have to just say, you know what, whatever life throws at me, I'm gonna try to figure this out and get around it, in a good way. Yeah, it's hard and challenging. We have 50 sled dogs I'm looking at through the window out here, and I have 3 people that rely on me to come up with a game plan every day. So Dane, Casey, and Jaron, and I'm responsible for them. So it's fun, it's challenging, it's a lot of hard work, but again, we do it as a team. And I mean, it's raining and there's a lot of ice outside right now. And again, we're just going to try to figure it out. We're going to potentially load all the dogs up in the truck and trailer and drive north where there's better conditions. So every day we don't really know what we're going to get into until we wake up and we say, okay, let's try to figure this out. So all the while we have tourists coming here, and we're putting 2 teams in the Iditarod. So Dane Baker, remember that name. Dane is going to be running the yearling team in Iditarod for our kennel. So there's a lot going on, and I don't want to deter anyone from becoming a dog musher. I think it's a great job because it's I'm responsible for other things. Like I have all these dogs that I'm responsible for. So it's not just about me or my wife, and we just want to go, we just want to, I don't know, go to the movies. It's a farm. And so yeah, we have a lot to be thankful for, but we have a lot to be responsible for.
Looking ahead, what are your goals for this year's Iditarod?
Well, first and foremost is to finish. Of course, we want to finish that race, and we want to finish with, of course, happy and healthy dogs. So no matter what happens, if things aren't going as planned, or if our training leading up to that race isn't what we thought it would be, we might have to adjust on the fly. If the dogs can handle the stress, if they can handle the workload, then we'll continue to go at a competitive pace. And we were able to crack the top 10 a couple of years ago. I would say a reasonable goal for us is to get in the top 10. I really think if everything goes well, we can get in the top 5. And if the chips fall and we have a chance to, race with the front runners, whoever that may be, Mitch Seavey, Jesse Holmes, Travis Beals. I mean, there's a handful of really good mushers. then we might be up there. So if the dogs are healthy and happy and we find ourselves in a good position, then we'll try to race for the win. But I would say a top 5 finish, we'd be thrilled with that. So we'll just see how it goes.
What do you hope your legacy in mushing will be?
What do I hope my legacy in mushing will be? Wow. Well, I guess I better quote Martin Boozer on that one. Do right by your dogs. Whatever is best for your dogs at that moment, you do what's right for them. And if that means they know how to run on ice and tiptoe down on ice, then we can do that. If they're too young and they've never experienced it, then maybe we don't run. So whatever's the best thing for your animals. And people have to remember that my friends that live out in Bethel and my friends that live up in Fairbanks, those are 2 different climates and 2 different situations. And what's best for the dogs in Bethel is different for the dogs in Fairbanks. And so everybody has to make that decision on a team individual basis. I want people to know that our kennel and our dogs, we welcome people from all over the world, from many different backgrounds, and we're willing to teach anybody about dog mushing that has an open mind. If they want to come here and learn about an awesome sport, the Alaskan state sport, official sport, we'll teach them about this cool thing called dog mushing. And it's a lot of fun, and the dogs love it.
Our school's therapy dog is named after Martin Boozer.
Nice. Is the dog named Martin?
Yes.
Yeah, he's over there. Yeah,
That's awesome.
he's got buffalo plaid bow tie and buffalo plaid bed. He's all Martin Boozered out.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of dog is it?
He's a yellow lab.
Oh, does Martin know he's got a dog named after him?
He sure does.
That's awesome.
I've told him several
I
times.
wonder-
He also has children. The baby Martin has kids too.
Oh, that's good. Good stuff.
Our final segment is going to be favorites of the Iditarod. Ready?
Yep.
What's your favorite dog?
What's my favorite dog? You lead off with that tough question. Oh man. So I was told that whichever dog I'm interacting with at that time is my favorite one. So that's the best answer I can give you. But everybody that knows our team, they know that Cool Cat is our closet favorite dog. I'm not supposed to say that, but she's the favorite one because she's the oldest one.
What's your favorite snack to bring?
For me or for the dogs?
You.
For me? Well, it was watermelon Sour Patch Kids. But I think I'm going to switch it up and go with the little individual Pringles container, like the Pringles for some reason. They're pretty darn tasty right now.
What's your favorite part of the trail?
The Blueberry Hills outside of Shaktoolik, in between Unalakleet and Shack, are really, really beautiful, really pretty. But I do like going into Roan, getting to go through the mountains down onto the Tatina River, I think it's called, and then over the Cusco on the other side. It's just a really, if you know who Bob Ross is, it's a beautiful cabin in the woods. It's a pretty cool painting out there.
Who's your favorite musher?
My favorite musher, like current musher in the Iditarod,
Doesn't matter.
or just in general.
Yeah, just
Wow. Well, I mean, I have to say Martin. He's my mentor. He really kind of pushed us into the next level. I mean, Matt Hashida was a protege of Martin, and Matt took me to he introduced me to it, and then Martin took us to the next level. But I got a lot of favorites. They're all Susan Butcher. I mean, Libby Riddles, George Atla. Yeah. I mean, but Martin's my favorite.
What's your favorite Iditarod tradition?
Oh wow. My favorite Iditarod tradition. Well, my mom and dad come up for Iditarod every year from Ohio. They've been able to make almost every one. I think my dad made everyone. My mom has done everyone except for once. So that's 12 out of 13 for her and 13 out of 13 for my dad. So that's a huge tradition to see my mom and dad and to see them at the finish line. But I also have a phone tradition where I call Matt Hayashida on the drive down. So Saturday during the race, as we're driving down to Anchorage, I call my old boss and my old mentor, Matt Hayashida. And it's kind of fun for him because he lives down in the lower 48 now. And so he gets a random call on the first Saturday in March, and he knows that it's us driving the dogs down to Anchorage. And we talk about the trail and our strategy and all that good stuff.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us today, Matthew. To our listeners, be sure to follow Matthew's journey in the Iditarod this year.
Special thanks to our guest Matthew Failor for being on our show this week. If you have any questions, comments, or people you would like to hear on the show, email us at huskytalk@gmail.com. We would like to also give credit to Hobo Jim for our intro song, the Iditarod Trail, and our outro song, Reddington's Race.
Way to go, you guys. Good job. You're getting so good at this. Every year it's better and better. And yeah, special thanks to Hobo Jim.
Thank you so much. We keep adding different things, trying new things out. This year we're doing the StreamYard and putting it on YouTube and stuff. So
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I look
appreciate
forward
it.
to hearing it. You're welcome. Yeah, sorry the other day didn't work out.
Yeah, I'm sorry about the not recording. That happens like once every other year.